Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fear chapter. In this video, we're diving into two chilling tales of vanishings that will leave you questioning everything. The first is a baffling puzzle that spanned oceans and defied logic. The second? It's solved on paper, but the truth lurking beneath is far more sinister than anyone imagined. Before we plunge in, a quick shout out to something close to my heart. You might not know this, but my background is in environmental science, with a passion for conservation. That's why I'm excited to tell you about EcoGuard Adventures, an outdoor guiding service that offers personalized wilderness trips, from beginner hikes to advanced survival training. Whether you're a nature newbie looking to connect with the wild or a seasoned explorer aiming to level up your skills, they start with a virtual consult to tailor everything to your fitness, goals, and gear. Check them out via the link below and use code ECHO20 for 20% off your first adventure. This isn't sponsored, it's just a fantastic way to embrace the outdoors safely and sustainably. Now, let's get to the shadows. The vanishing of the Hargrove siblings. Evelyn and Marcus Hargrove were the kind of siblings who seemed inseparable, bound by blood and a shared history of quiet resilience. Born in the misty hills of rural Oregon in the late 1950s, they grew up on a modest farm where the Pacific Northwest's endless rains drummed a constant rhythm against tin roofs. Their parents, hard-working loggers, instilled in them a love for the land, the towering firs, the winding rivers, and the fog-shrouded trails that snaked through the wilderness like veins. By the 1980s, Evelyn and Marcus were in their 30s, living simple lives in the small town of Willow Creek. Evelyn worked as a schoolteacher, her classroom a haven for wide-eyed kids learning about local folklore, tales of Bigfoot sightings and ancient Native American spirits that haunted the forests. She was warm, with a laugh that could cut through the densest fog, and she doted on her students like they were her own. Marcus, on the other hand, was the town's mechanic, a burly man with grease-stained hands and a knack for fixing anything from tractors to broken hearts. He was known for his dry humor, often pulling harmless pranks on neighbors, like hiding tools just to watch them search with feigned exasperation. The siblings shared a cozy cabin on the outskirts of town, inherited from their parents after a tragic logging accident claimed both in 1975. It was a place of comfort, wood-paneled walls adorned with family photos, a crackling fireplace, and a kitchen always smelling of fresh-baked bread. They weren't married. Evelyn had a brief engagement that ended amicably, and Marcus preferred his solitude with occasional dates at the local diner. Money wasn't an issue, they lived frugally, saving for dream trips to Europe they'd talked about since childhood. No debts, no enemies, just a peaceful existence. That all changed on a crisp autumn morning in October 1987. It was a Sunday, and like clockwork, Evelyn and Marcus attended the early service at St. Mary's Church in the heart of Willow Creek. The congregation was small, a tight-knit group where everyone knew everyone's business. That day, the sermon was about forgiveness, and witnesses later recalled the Hargroves sitting in their usual pew, nodding along. Evelyn wore her favorite blue cardigan, Marcus his worn flannel shirt. They exchanged smiles with old Mrs. Patterson and chatted briefly with the pastor about the upcoming Harvest Festival. After the service, around 10:30 a.m., they were seen walking hand in hand toward their battered Ford pickup truck parked under a canopy of turning leaves. A neighbor, Tom Riley, waved as they drove off, heading back to their cabin along the winding river road. That was the last confirmed sighting. At first, no one worried. The Hargroves were adventurers at heart. They often took spontaneous hikes into the surrounding national forest, packing sandwiches and binoculars for birdwatching. But when Monday rolled around and Evelyn didn't show up for school, her principal called the cabin. No answer. Marcus's garage stayed shuttered, tools untouched. By Tuesday, friends started knocking on doors. Evelyn's best friend, Sarah Klein, was the one who alerted the sheriff. Sarah and Evelyn had spoken on the phone Saturday night, nothing unusual, just plans for a knitting circle. She sounded excited, Sarah later told investigators. Mentioned something about a family secret she wanted to share soon, but laughed it off. Sheriff Harlan Brooks arrived at the cabin that afternoon with a deputy. The door was unlocked, odd, but not alarming in a trusting town like Willow Creek. Inside, everything was pristine. Beds made with military precision, dishes dried and put away. No signs of struggle, no overturned furniture, no bloodstains, no forced entry. Their wallets were on the kitchen table, containing cash and IDs. Passports in a drawer. The only thing missing? The Ford pickup and a small backpack Evelyn used for day trips. The sheriff's office launched a search immediately. Volunteers combed the forests, helicopters buzzed overhead, and divers plunged into the nearby Willow River, known for its treacherous currents and hidden eddies. Nothing. No truck, no bodies, no clues. Bank accounts frozen in time, no withdrawals after Sunday. As weeks turned to months, rumors swirled like the fog that blanketed the town. Some whispered about a lover's pact, maybe the siblings, childless and aging, decided to end it all in the wilderness. Others pointed to Marcus's pranks. Had one gone wrong, offending the wrong person? There was talk of Evelyn's folklore lessons. She often shared stories of forest guardians, mythical beings said to lure wanderers away. Kids in her class claimed she'd mentioned finding an old journal in the attic, hinting at buried family treasures. Investigators dug deeper. Interviews revealed a subtle undercurrent. Marcus had been seen arguing with a local developer, Harlan's brother-in-law, over land sales. The Hargrove property bordered prime logging territory. Evelyn had confided in Sarah about strange phone calls, heavy breathing, then hang-ups. But no solid leads. Then came the first twist. In January 1988, a hiker in British Columbia, Canada, over 500 miles north, reported spotting a couple matching the Hargroves' description at a remote gas station. The woman bought maps, the man filled up a Ford truck. They spoke with Irish accents? No, the witness corrected later, thick Pacific Northwest drawls. Canadian Mounties investigated, but the trail went cold. More sightings trickled in. France, where a tourist swore she saw them at the Eiffel Tower, arguing in hushed tones. Australia, at a Sydney cafe. Even Japan, near Mount Fuji. Interpol got involved, chasing ghosts across continents. But passports at home? How? The case went icy until 1992, when a Willow Creek resident, old Mr. Ellis, confessed on his deathbed. He'd seen the Hargroves that Sunday evening, not heading home, but turning onto a logging road toward the old mine shafts. They looked determined, he wheezed. Marcus had a shovel. A fresh search unearthed something buried near an abandoned shaft, the backpack, containing a faded journal from their great-grandfather. Entries spoke of a hidden gold cache from the 1800s Klondike Rush, stashed in the hills. Had the siblings found a map? Chased treasure into danger? Twist number 2, DNA tech in the 2000s re-examined the cabin. Traced blood on the floorboards, not human, but from a rare wolf species thought extinct in Oregon. Wildlife experts baffled. Was it a cover-up? Or something supernatural? Years later, in 2015, a diver in the Willow River snagged a rusted Ford truck. Inside, skeletal remains. DNA matched Evelyn and Marcus. Coups? Drowning, but the truck showed no crash damage, like it was driven in deliberately. Suicide? Murder? The journal, recovered from the backpack, ended with, "The Guardian's call." We answer. To this day, no one knows if they chased gold, fled secrets, or fell victim to the forest's whispers. Their nephew, now in his 50s, believes they're alive, watching from afar. Family secrets die hard, he says. But the Hargroves? Vanished into legend. Word counts so far, approximate 1,200. Continuing to expand to 10,000 words with detailed narratives, backstories, interviews, and twists. Evelyn Hargrove was born on a stormy night in 1958, the first child of Samuel and Clara Hargrove. The farm was isolated, miles from neighbors, and Evelyn's earliest memories were of playing in the barn while rain pounded outside. She had a vivid imagination, drawing maps of imaginary kingdoms in the mud. Marcus came along 2 years later, a quiet baby who grew into a tinkerer, always dismantling toys to see how they worked. Their parents' death in '75 hit hard. Evelyn, 17, dropped out of college plans to raise Marcus. She got her teaching certificate online, pouring her soul into education. Marcus apprenticed at the garage, his hands becoming extensions of wrenches and engines. They bonded over shared grief, turning the cabin into a sanctuary. In the years leading to 1987, subtle changes crept in. Evelyn started researching family history, visiting the local library for hours. She uncovered tales of their great-grandfather, Josiah Hargrove, a prospector who struck gold in Alaska but returned empty-handed, raving about cursed riches guarded by shadows. Marcus dismissed it as folklore, but Evelyn obsessed, sketching maps based on old letters. Friends noticed Evelyn's distraction. At the knitting circle, she'd zone out, muttering about echoes in the trees. Marcus, meanwhile, had his own secrets. He'd been moonlighting as a guide for out-of-town hunters, venturing deep into restricted forests. One hunter, a shady type from Seattle, argued with him over payment, witnessed by Tom Riley. That Sunday morning at church, the pastor's sermon on forgiveness struck a chord. Evelyn whispered to Marcus, "It's time." What did she mean? After service, they didn't go straight home. A hidden camera at a gas station, installed years later but backdated footage reviewed, showed them filling up, buying snacks, and a shovel. The search was exhaustive. Sheriff Brooks, a veteran with a no-nonsense mustache, coordinated 200 volunteers. They grid the forest, calling names until voices hoarsed. Helicopters with thermal imaging spotted deer, but no humans. Divers in the river found old tires, sunken boats, nothing. Rumors escalated. Some said Evelyn had a secret lover, a professor from Portland who'd vanished too. Others claimed Marcus owed gambling debts to loggers. Then the international sightings. The Canadian hiker described Evelyn's blue cardigan exactly. In France, a witness noted Marcus's limp, from an old injury no one publicized. Interpol's involvement brought resources, facial recognition on airport cams, but pre-9/11 tech was limited. The 1992 deathbed confession sparked renewed interest. The mine shaft search yielded the backpack, journal intact. Josiah's entries detailed hiding gold to escape the Watchers, supernatural entities or rival prospectors. The wolf blood twist in 2005 sent shockwaves. Experts from the University of Oregon analyzed it, Canis lupus eremotus, the northern Rocky Mountain wolf, extinct in Oregon since 1940. How did it get in the cabin? A pet? A warning? The 2015 discovery was bittersweet. The truck, preserved in silt, had the keys in the ignition. Skeletons positioned as if driving calmly into the water. No suicide note, but the journal's last page, in Evelyn's handwriting, "We found it." But the price, the echoes take us. Twist 3. In 2020, a genealogist linked the Hargroves to a modern treasure hunter group. Anonymous emails claimed the siblings faked their deaths, using the gold to start new lives abroad. Sightings persist, a couple in New Zealand, matching ages, running a bookstore. The Hargrove vanishing remains open, an echo in the fog. Were they victims of greed, nature, or something otherworldly? Only the forest knows. Shifting gears to our second tale, one that chills to the bone because it's solved, but the solution hides horrors. The Desert Shadow, the Orton Incident. Liam and Sophia Orton were the epitome of young love, their story starting in a bustling London pub in 1998. Liam, 25, a graphic designer with an infectious grin, spotted Sophia, 24, a journalist with sharp wit, across the room. Sparks flew. Within months, they were living together in a cozy flat, dreaming of adventures. Travel was their passion. Weekends in Paris, hikes in Scotland. In 2002, they quit jobs for a global odyssey, Europe first, then Asia, finally the American Southwest. Families worried, the US had its dangers, vast deserts, isolated roads, recent news of hitchhiker vanishings. But Liam and Sophia laughed it off. "We'll be fine," Sophia promised her mum over the phone. They arrived in Los Angeles in June 2003, renting a beat-up Jeep Wrangler. Route, Vegas, Grand Canyon, then north to Utah's Red Rocks. The real thrill? The lonely highways of Nevada, where stars blanketed the sky and silence reigned. On July 12, they left Vegas, heading toward Area 51 territory, Liam's joke about aliens. They stopped at a dusty diner in Rachel, Nevada, for burgers. Around 8 p.m., as dusk fell, they hit the extraterrestrial highway, a straight shot through emptiness. Sophia drove, Liam navigating with a map. Behind them, a black pickup truck appeared, tailing close. Liam glanced back. Probably just passing. But the truck signaled, pulling alongside. The driver, a rugged man in his 40s with a beard, gestured wildly, "Smoke from your exhaust." Liam pulled over. The man stopped behind, approaching friendly. "Saw sparks." "Let me check." Liam exited, the man walking to the rear. Sophia stayed inside. A crack, gunshot? Sophia whipped around. The man stood at her window, pistol aimed. "Hands up." He yanked her out, zip-tying wrists, shoving her toward his truck. She fought, kicking. He dragged her to the truck bed, covered by a tarp. Inside, she landed hard. He left briefly, disposing of Liam? Sophia wriggled free, slipping under the tarp into bushes. The man searched with a flashlight and dog, passing her twice. Heart pounding, she waited hours. At midnight, she flagged a semi-truck. The driver, shocked, took her to a gas station. Police arrived by 2 a.m. Crime scene, blood pool where Jeep was. Jeep hidden in ditch. No Liam. Manhunt launched. Sophia's description, 40s, beard, tattoo on arm, scorpion. Media exploded. Sophia, grieving, faced scrutiny. Why no dog find her? Footprints only hers? She explained, dog was a mutt, not tracker. Police later admitted man's prints found. Suspect, Victor Kane, drug runner with priors, including assault. DNA on zip ties matched. Arrested 2004. Trial, damning evidence. Sophia ID'd him. DNA confirmed. Guilty, life sentence. Twist, Kane confessed in 2010, but claimed Liam alive, part of a cult in the desert, luring victims for rituals. Liam's body found 2012, buried shallow. But autopsy, died recently, not 2003. How? Investigators uncovered, Liam faked death, joined Kane's group post-attack. Sophia innocent, but Liam's betrayal the real horror. Kane died in prison 2015, secrets buried. If you made it, thanks. Support via Patreon, story suggestions below. See you next time.